It's friggin' break time. It's friggin' break time. I'm gonna go stand over by the vlogging wall. Skeeter douche.
My goodness, if I didn't know any better, gas got cheaper. $78.9. No, that's the same price as it always was. I'd take it back. So one of the YouTubers I watch, little Miss Haley Sorix, drops a video talking about how she makes pornos. Lovely. She's a medicinal marijuana user down in the SoCal, I believe, somewhere in California anyway. She mentions it in her videos a couple times, and today's video she decided to talk about how she makes pornos. She doesn't make pornos. She's a cam girl, but it's funny, in the description of her video she's like, for 30 bucks I'll show you how to get to my link. Fuck, all it took me was 4 minutes and a Google search and I was banging into her friggin' profile. Yeah, because that's really hard to do. I guess when AdSense won't cut it, eh? It is what it is. I'm pretty sure my car's so old it has Alzheimer's, because it's not -14 out right now. That's a fucking given. It's freaking cold out right now, people. Holy shit on a shingle. I had to shut down that break vlog because, well, 2 reasons. Number 1, a coworker came out and I'm not allowed to film when coworkers are around. And number 2, my tits are freezing off my body. And I don't like that kind. Tits gotta stay on the body, apparently. So far, it's been a pretty easy shift. Yep. They're like, it's so busy today. And they're like getting hogwashed with freaking people calling in. And it's like 4 o'clock hits and everybody just quits calling. Love that kind. One of the co-workers apparently has an insight talk with Bell and says that come spring they're going to run the list and release everybody who is on the kill list, me included. So that'll be interesting to see if that happens, frig sakes. Maybe I booked my vacation for Pug 1 for no reason. Maybe I'll just be off. Who knows? Should be interesting. It's going to add some more to the vlog, that's for sure. Probably. Who knows? I'll be all stressed out, unemployed and shit. I'm not too worried though, because Mike already told me like he's waiting for me to tell him, bro, I lost my job, so that I can go run the North Bay store and he can be free to, like, you know, run his organization, like run his friggin' company, I guess you could say. Like, he's got multi-locations, right? Just opened a store in Sault Ste. Marie, has a store in North Bay, he's thinking about a store in Timmins, he's got the 2 in Sudbury, the 1 in Chatham, and the 1 in Sarnia. Sometimes he needs to run around and get shit did, and right now he's running North Bay store. And that's no good. Like, he needs to be able to have his freedom to go travel places and investigate stores and see why sales aren't happening and what's really going on. Fuck, this jacket pisses me off sometimes with his friggin' collar. But yeah, like, he needs his freedom, so he wants me to take over North Bay and run the shit out of this store. And then he wants to run, well, he's just basically gonna, you know, do the rest, all the logistics of it, right? You know, making the juices and ordering the products and checking all the inventories of the stores and making sure everybody has full stock, so, you know, we don't have an issue like before where people were coming in to buy ego pens and starter kits but there was nothing in stock. That's what he wants to do, is basically take care of that shit, and then you know, I'll take care of the store. He runs all that. He's got a guy in Sarnia, he's got a guy in Chatham, he's got a guy in Sault Ste. Marie, he's got 2 people in Sudbury to run their operations. It'd be perfect. You know, I could easily run this store, that'd be alright. And it'd be glorious. Only thing that really sucks about the whole ordeal, sorry for the vape, is like right now I got all my bills coming out on every second Wednesday. Like, not the Wednesday coming up, but next Wednesday, all my bills come out. And that's when I get paid, is on Wednesdays. Every second Wednesday I get a paycheck. So I'm gonna have to figure out either A, mark it down on calendars when money's coming out and make sure the money's in the bank, or B, I'm gonna have to talk to the bank about moving my payment dates to whenever payday is with the vape shop. Either way, it'll be done. Not much to worry. Banks are pretty awesome at doing that, you know. You tell them what you want to do and they have no problems bumping dates around, and might charge you a little bit extra for extra days or something, but normally they don't. Normally they don't. But my goodness, am I ever saving money on my insurance. See, when I was with TD Insurance, they were charging me $292 for this car and the house. You want to know why? Because apparently the G6 was involved in a bunch of accidents. Oh no, not my G6. Oh God, no. Other people who owned G6s managed to pile them. Therefore, I get penalized because I drive a car that other people can't drive. Fuck, that makes no sense. It's like, you know what? Anybody can get any car and not know how to drive and pile it. You know, Bruce is driving the old Escape. You know what I'm saying? So what, a bunch of kids get a bunch of Escapes and wreck them. Now all of a sudden Bruce is paying $10 million a month for insurance because they can't drive? That's what I like about the current insurance company I'm with, is they don't do that. They base it on your record. And when they did a claim pull on me to see if I did any claims and realized, holy shit, this guy's been driving for like pretty much 20 years as of this March pretty much, because then I'll be 36. Never once made a claim, not even for a windshield repair, because honestly that's a stupid thing to do around here. Don't know what it's like in the Americas, but if you go to a window dick, like a Apple Auto Glass or any sort of auto glass or whatever your auto glass is called, like Mr. Fix-It's Auto Glass, if you walk in there and say, listen bud, I'm buying a new windshield for my car, they might charge you $400 or $500. The moment you say, I need to get a windshield replaced on my car, I'm going through insurance, that $400 or $500 becomes $25 to $3 grand. Like, they just jump the price because they know they can get it out of the insurance dicks. I don't know how they do it. I don't even know how that's legal, but they do it and it works. Like when I replaced the window on the Tempo, my Tempo had a real bad pit and it turned into a crack and it went from left to right across the windshield right in the middle. I had to go in and replace it. The windshield cost me $320 for a Ford Tempo. That's pretty good. And they're like, oh, are you going through insurance or are you doing it out of pocket? And I'm like, I'm doing it out of pocket. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what's the difference? Well, if we go through insurance, we got to charge a lot more. Like, we got to charge a lot more. So they're taking a scam organization, also known as insurance, and they're abusing it, which is, I guess, fine for them, but then my premiums go up, right? Not fine for me. So that's why I don't like to make claims on anything unless I absolutely have to. Like, if something happened at the house that the water pipes blew up and I had another water leak, as long as I can clean it up and it doesn't destroy anything, I'm not making a claim. I'm just going to cap it off, get it fixed. They don't need to know fuck all about what happened. Big times. But yeah, the old friggin' company, they're charged. This is what I didn't get, okay? The new company, they allow you to get flood and sewage damage. So if your shit explodes and you got, like, you know, sewer backing up, toilet backing up, whatever, you pay extra for that, it's covered. The old insurance company would charge you for it, but it wouldn't cover floods. It said it right in the policy. Floods are not covered. So it's like, why are you charging me for flood damage? If my house gets flooded, I can't even call you guys for a claim. It's pretty dicked. So, I don't know. Whatever. Frig it. But anyway, so far today has been a pretty good day. I've had like 4 coffees, 2 in the morning, 2 here at work. I'm wired for sound like you wouldn't believe right now. Can you tell? I'm totally shaking my head. It's a little bit because I'm cold, but, you know, whatever. Is it just me, or does anybody else notice that computer companies are doing it back-asswards now? You ever notice that? I'm going to take Apple, for instance. I talked about Apple in the past and how dick they were. You know, if you want to get a Mac Mini, don't buy this generation's Mac Mini. They're garbage. Buy last generation's Mac Mini. At least then you can have an i7. And it's upgradable too. I don't know what the hell people are thinking, building computers and soldering memory directly to the board, making it impossible to change out. That's dumb. Really dumb in my mind, because I'm the kind of guy that, like, for instance, my XPS 8300, when I bought it, you know, it came with a 500 gig hard drive, an ATI 6450, an i7 2600, an OK motherboard, you know. Only reason why I picked up the computer is because it was $700 to my door for a PC that had an i7 second gen in it. Put in my own video card, upgraded the RAM to 16 gigs. It only came with 8, so I dropped another 8 into it. I had a rocking system, you know. For the same computer from Dell with 16 gigs of RAM was $849. All the other specs were the same. It was an extra $150 for 16 gigs of RAM. Not really worth it when you can get 16 gigs of RAM for piss, you know? You buy G-Skill or you buy like Patriot or like cheap RAM. Well, not cheap RAM, but inexpensive, I should say, because G-Skill and, you know, Mushkin, good stuff, good quality stuff. It's just inexpensive. Gotta watch it when you use the word cheap. Cheap means China made, right? Sometimes. But that's the whole thing. When I buy a computer, like for instance, if I was gonna buy a Mac Mini and I wanted the i7, I'd buy the baseline, upgrade to the i7. That's not an option anymore. They only have dual cores, dual core i5s. And the base model Mac Mini, like last generation base model was an i5 2.5 gigahertz. This year, the base model is an i5 ultra low voltage processor at 1.4 gigahertz dual core. That's the processor you shove into a netbook, for frig's sakes. Like, what were they thinking, you know? And Dell's doing the same damn thing, offering shitty freaking hardware in their low-end systems, when last year their low-end systems had pretty decent hardware, a couple hop-ups here and there, and you had yourself a pretty nice rig. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It's like these computer designers are building rigs just to take our money. Sons of bitches. I looked at Dell tonight and noticed like the XPS 8300, or 8700, sorry. Not a bad rig, but it's expensive off the hop, and you don't get much into it. Like they're pushing this Intel Iris video card, and last time I checked, any Intel video card is a pile of piss. It's garbage. Maybe this Iris one's not too bad, but it ain't no G-force, that's for sure. You're probably going to be able to game a little bit on it, but not really give her. I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly have no freaking clue what the hell they were thinking. But it is what it is, right? They're going to do what they're going to do, and people are either going to buy it or tell them to frig off and not buy it, and a lot more people are going to build their own custom desktops just so they can get top quality hardware without getting hassled. Just saying. But anyway, people, it's about due for me to get back inside. My lunch is almost over. Just been sitting out here vaping for a bit and hanging out, and well, my lunch isn't almost over. I just don't want to run all my gas into the ground idling my car. But I had to fill up my friggin' passenger side rear tire again. Stupid freaking aluminum rims. That's the thing. It's not my tires that are leaking. It's those stupid piece of shit rims. The valve stem doesn't sit in them right, or the one in the back driver's side here is warped. It's pretty much an egg. I need new rims. I need steelies. I don't even want like aluminum rims that have style. I want steelies, because I've never had a problem with a car with steelies before. Never had flats. Only time I had a flat was in my Focus, and somebody came through the parking lot and slashed all 4 of my fucking tires. Probably because they were envious of how cool my car looked, apparently. I don't know. This doesn't look too cool to me, but some people might like it. I built it as a joke. But anyway, people, I'll talk to you later on my probably going home break, which is not really a break, it's just me going home. So we'll talk to you then. So until then, peace the frig out.
Fucking rights, I'm done this job today. Only 4 more days to go before the weekend's here.
That didn't fucking rhyme, worth a shit. But anyway, people, it's friggin' midnight. Time to get the cock out of here, go home, and see if the cat killed the dog yet, or vice versa. Frig yeah. Next time I go for a piss, I gotta make sure I dry my hands better after washing up, because my goodness, my hands got ice on them now. It's fucking cold out here, people. Fucking cold. Big times. Anyway, let's rip tip home. Rip tip? No, rip tit. Rip tip. Fuck, that sounds dirty. So my buddy owns a 2007 Chevy Malibu Tang. He brought his in for the recall work. He's got pretty much, well, the Malibu and the G6 are the same damn car, except for one's a Chevrolet and one's a Pontiac, and same with the Saturn Aurora, one of those anyway. It's based off of the same platform as the G6 and the Malibu. 3 cars identical from the same company. Anyway, my buddy brings his car into his local GM dealership to get the recall work done. He pretty much had the same 72 recalls I have to get done on his car. He brings it in, and they proceed to do the freaking recall work, eh? He tells me, he's like, "Bud, would you not do that while I'm fucking filming, maybe? Maybe? Thanks." But he's sitting there, and he brings the car in, and they're like, "Okay, well, it's going to be a couple days because we got a lot of work to do and we don't have the manpower to do it." Like you guys said, they gave him a vehicle on the lot. They gave him a loaner. So he had to drive around in this burnt-out G3, Pontiac G3, fucking, you know, Chevy Aveo, Suzuki Swift, maybe? I think. I don't know. But a little lunchbox compared to his Malibu. So he's driving around that in a couple days, and then he gets a call from the GM dealership saying, "Hey, come and pick up your car. It's ready to go." He gets there, and he's like, "All right, where's the keys?" And they tell him, "You got to go to the service desk and pay for your work." And he's like, "What do you mean pay for the work? They told me in the recall everything was covered." Well, apparently, while they were doing the recall work, they decided to change out his rack and pinion. There was a rack and pinion. They did his brakes. All this was without telling him. Anyway, they did a bunch of shit to the car that was beyond the recall work without even calling him and notifying him that they were doing it. $2,700 fucking dollars in repairs that they charged on top of the recall work. My buddy works at a, not a call center, it's, well, it's, yeah, okay, it's a call center. It's an outbound, you know, those fucking 5 o'clock telemarketers trying to eat supper and this guy's calling you for long distance or whatever. He works for a company like that. He doesn't have $2,700 sitting there to put into a car that's only worth $3,200 bucks. So he's like, well, fuck, I can't pay that. And they're like, well, you have no choice. We can't give you the car back until you do. And he's like, well, so then they go over to City Financial and apply for a loan for $2,700. Okay, I thought about that. I thought about that in the past because that happened to a friend at Kia. She brought her car in for an oil change and they ended up doing the timing belt and charged her $1,200. Figure that one out. $1,200 for a fucking timing belt. Holy shit. That's a little bit steep, don't you think? And she didn't have the money and she went to City Financial and she friggin' applied for a $1,200 loan to pay Kia so she could have her car. You know, rather than fighting it for the fact that they did work without her, you know, signing off on it, there's got to be a legality against that. And, like, if they did that to me, I'm pretty sure I would contact a lawyer and sue the fucking pants off of them. Because, number one, you shouldn't have to do recall work on your car, you know, when they find the problem, and they shouldn't have waited 10 fucking years to find the problems and then notify people, oh, by the way, these cars are killing people because we can't build them because AC Delco actually stands for Authentic Chinese Delco Parts, you know, authentic China, straight out of freaking not Canada or America or Mexico or this side of the world. But, she ended up paying it, going in, getting the $1,200 loan, putting it on her car to get it out of the fucking shop. And she had to pay for 2 years, bi-weekly, $48. So that's $96 a month for 24 months. So basically, she paid pretty much 50% interest on that. Or almost 100% pretty much, if you think about it. Because she paid about $2,200 and change. Well, probably more than that. I'm not doing the math, but $2,200 and change for a $1,200 job. Because City Financial just puts like a 24% annual daily interest on it. Like every day that loan is getting interest. And they start doing it like right away, just fucking year round. So it's like, it's horseshit that they do this. And I am so worried that I'm going to bring that Pontiac into the shop. They're going to do the recall work and then they're going to call me up with like a bigger bill. And it'll be one of those where I'll probably go to prison. I'll probably go down there and lose my fucking shit, rage out, and yeah. So, needless to say, my buddy is fucking without a car right now. He's fucked. The loaner, he had to bring it back. General Motors is not letting him have his car back until he comes up with $2,700. So he's been bugging his, you know, friends and that to see if anybody can pitch in money so he can get his car back, so he can, you know, go to work, make money to pay for his car. Like, fuck's sakes. Like this, there has to be a legality here. Like if they did that to me, I would contact my lawyer and sue General Motors. I would just fucking sue them for doing work to my car without telling me, and then telling me that I owe them money. I would sue them for the damages and sue them for the grief they caused me on that day, probably. Because if you don't call me and say, oh, by the way, bud, we also found this problem and this problem and this problem and they need to be addressed, and here's the cost, and I could be like, yeah, I don't have the money for those problems, so just do your recall work and drop my car on the ground and let me come pick it up and fuck off already type thing. Because I don't plan on keeping the shitmobile because, yeah, there's way better deals out there for vehicles that are more useful for what I want to do. And the G6 is just a fucking General Motors lemon, you know? Just another piece of shit. But it's like Chinese Asian car company, so my GM's an import, but it's a domestic car because General Motors headquarters in the Americas. Therefore making it a domestic car. Well, no, it's not a domestic car. Domestic means local. I thought that meant that. Like local parts, everything's done here. Yeah, one of these days I got to get the friggin' lunchbox in and get the friggin' servicing done. But I was going to do it over Christmas, but fuck, it's Christmas, right? And they said no, they're not doing any recall work over Christmas. Try us on the New Year. And it's like, fuck. I gotta work to live. And I asked them about a loaner and they're like, oh, we'll have to look and see if we have any in at the time. Well, no, like I need to know because I kind of sort of need a car to go to work. So yeah, you gotta hook me up, bro. So I don't know, probably be a couple days of taxiing it to work and home. Fuck's sakes. Should never have bought that Pontiac. I should have just bit the bullet and bought the Dodge or the Chrysler 300. Probably would have been way better of a car too because, you know, Chrysler 300s that I see on the road today still sound great and don't sound like they're about to fall apart like there's some jalopy in a scrap race. But I need something to eat because I haven't had supper yet. I had my lunch, or my brunch, my bakey eggs, that was good. And I got that rice in the fridge and I'm thinking about chucking it in a frying pan and just fucking frying it up and seeing what happens. So let's do that. Oh fuck yeah, would you look at that great big brick of frickin' rice. I have a feeling this is gonna be a fail. A delicious fail, but a fail nonetheless. And the rice has been ricified. I'm gonna go eat the shit out of this. Alrighty, well I just watched Pug's videos and everybody else's videos and all these videos and other videos that I watch and other things. I think I'm gonna call her a night and go to bed. Tomorrow night's gonna be rough as frig because Wednesday we got Scamper's operation and I gotta be up at 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I'm gonna shut her down, call her quits, and go from there. So yeah, on that note, if you liked today's video, give the like button a clickety-clack. You know I love that kind. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. Also, people, don't forget, there's a whole shitload of links down below in the description. Links to, like, if you want to buy Vloggin Life shirts, or check out my friends, or go be a fan on the Facebook fan page, options. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.